Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. This week we continue learning Hovot HaLevavot, Duties of the Heart, the monumental work of Rabbi Bahia Ibn Pakuda, and we're in the gate of humility, learning about this incredible midah that really a person that has no humility is lost in life. He doesn't get it. And today he's asking this question: can humility and pride coexist within the heart of the believer? Can you be a believer of God and still have pride? So the answer, he says, my answer is as follows. And he says there are two kinds of pride. There is one pride in his body, in his physical skills, and material possessions. So people can be very proud because they're intelligent, they're beautiful, they're strong, they're a good athlete, he's a good tennis player. And this is one type of pride. And then there's a second type of pride in his spiritual virtues and wisdom and good acts performed for the sake of serving God. So any pride that derives from something physical drives humility out of the heart. So when pride comes from the material aspect of our lives, from physicality, then it comes from the ego, it comes from arrogance. It is impossible for both traits to coexist at the same time. They cannot live together in the heart, since one precludes the other. So that when a person becomes proud of some worldly good, what brings him to this is disrespect toward the benefactor. So when a person is proud because he's rich, and he's proud because he wrote a book, and he's proud about these things, in reality, this is not a healthy proud. Comes from the ego. It comes from haughtiness, of thinking that you are the one that make yourself. You're the one that has all the answers, and your intelligence is because you made yourself intelligent, and your beauty is because you made yourself beautiful. And in reality, you're intelligent because Hashem made you intelligent, and you're beautiful because God made you beautiful. So whatever good traits you have in your personality, you're kind, you're loving, you're giving, naturally, you didn't make yourself like that. You came like that. That's something that Hashem put in you. So we should never be proud of these things because this is how He made us. So we should be grateful to God, which is a different feeling, that He made us in such a way. So when a person becomes proud of some worldly good, what brings him is to disrespect Hashem. It's a lack of appreciation and obliviousness to how swiftly this good may be taken from him, how quickly it may leave him, and he imagines that he is his own benefactor. So this is a person that not only is haughty, proud, arrogant, but at the same time it's a person that is not grateful. He doesn't count his blessings. He doesn't see where things come from. And so that he acquires this good through his own power and wisdom. So Nebuchadnezzar said, Nebuchadnezzar was the Babylonian king that destroyed the first temple. He said, "It is not this the great Babel which I have built as a royal residence by my might power." So you can see that he's such an arrogant person. He feels that he has everything he has because he created it. And then you see, and as Pharaoh said, "I have my Nile and I have made it myself." So he even thought he was a god. So pride in spiritual virtues is of two kinds. One is blameworthy and the other one is praiseworthy. So also the Yetzer Hara can become a very religious Yetzer Hara. You know, you can think that you're so holy, but it really comes from a place of arrogance. So the pride of an individual in his wisdom or of a righteous person in his deeds is blameworthy. When as a result of pride, his wisdom or deeds become magnified in his own eyes, and he's content with what he has achieved of them. So a person that feels very proud because he's a great scholar and he's a great rabbi and he's very spiritual, in reality this is not praiseworthy, because if he has the ability to sit down and learn, it's because God gave him the ability to sit down and learn. He doesn't have to toil so much. So if he has a brilliant mind, in reality, he didn't make himself. Hashem made him like that. So he should be humble. That all the knowledge he has, everything he has acquired, really comes from the goodness of God. So this pride is blameworthy when it includes him to belittle people, scorn them, and speak disparagingly of them. So when people become haughty because they're so bright and good and intelligent, in reality is a very bad midah, it's a very bad character trait, because this person is going to be always looking at faults on other people. He's never going to see the good on anybody. He's always looking at the bad on other people and scolding them and scoffing on them and doing all these things. So a prideful individual such as this can be neither humble nor modest. Then the pride of a wise man, he's going to say here, Rabbi Pakuda, in his wisdom, or of a righteous man in his deeds, is praiseworthy when it springs from an appreciation for God's great favor towards him. So when a person, for example, you're born with a very good qualities, when you're born, since little, you're a giving human being, you're kind, you're loving, you're generous, you're all these beautiful things, and you're good to the world and you're good to the people. When you acknowledge that you're like that because Hashem made you like that, and you're only living up to who you really are, you're being responsible of doing what you are meant to be doing. This is part of your plan. This is part of who you should be. Then this person is not haughty, he's humble, because he's living up to his potential. So when a person lives up to his potential, he is a humble person. When a person doesn't live up to his potential, he's a haughty person. So when we see here that with this virtue, and from pure joy in the virtue, and when it induces him to add to his wisdom and good deeds, and to work at them, to be humble before his close ones, to rejoice with his colleagues, be sensitive to their honor, and not expose their inferior knowledge, speak in praise of them, love them, defend them, and show them respect. Pride is praiseworthy when its effect is that all his good deeds appear to him to be few. When a person sees that whatever he does is little compared to what other people do, and that he could always be doing more, that Hashem gave him the ability to do much more, and he's not being able to do he's not doing what he should be doing, this gives a person a sense of humbleness. And so we see here he humbles himself before one through whose agency he hopes to improve spiritually. So a humble person is a person that's always striving to be better. Always striving to be better. I heard a beautiful story of Rabbi Twersky. May his neshama have an aliyah. We lost a great giant this week. It pains me terribly. And he had a second marriage because his first wife had passed away, and he had a second marriage. And one of his nephews, he came to him to ask him for advice on Shalom Bayit, on peace in the home. And the nephew's looking at the uncle. He was a giant. He was a tzaddik. Like, he's coming to ask me, like, by now he should already know how to keep a wife happy and a peaceful home. So he says to Rabbi Twersky, why are you asking me these things? Like, I'm sure you know how to bring peace to your home. And the rabbi, such a humble human being, he says, you know what? A person should always strive to be better. It doesn't matter where he is, where his stature is, he should always strive to be better. And that is a humble person, a person that never stops learning, a person that never stops growing. This is a humble person, when he can see that he's not there yet, that there's still potential for him. So he's grateful to God for favoring him with his virtues and praises him. This kind of pride is not antithetical to humility and does not preclude it. And as scriptures attribute such pride to Yehoshaphat, as it says, his heart was lifted up in the ways of God. And on the contrary, such pride complements humility and adds to it. And as it says, the consequence of humility is reverence for God, wealth, honor, and life. And this is in Mishlei. So today we have learned the two types of pride, a healthy pride and a not healthy pride. And we should always strive to always be growing, learning, bettering ourselves, and living a little higher. I wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.